Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to
Hello out there.
the Music is Therapy show here with Janice Lala and yours truly, Music Therapy Labs. That's right. The hostess with the mostest, and
The
the
host with
I
the
guess I
most.
guess the host with the most. Okay, and then the
Host with the
hostess with the
most.
mostest. That's you. And we've got all the fine people in the chat. I did invite Johnny Beanie if he wants to pop in and say hello. Celebrating the military today. So our Music is Therapy show today, a very special Memorial Day special event. We're going to memorialize not just our fallen military, but some of the musicians that we've lost that were military. And we'll talk about other musicians if you like as well. But I thought it would be cool to talk about some of our military that became musicians. Some of them have some infamous stories,
I
like
could think of
Rayman's
two right
Derek.
now.
Rain, yeah, okay. Give us two.
Jimi Hendrix
Yes,
and Elvis.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah. GI Blues. Did you see GI Blues? I remember that movie. Yeah, GI Blues. And then I believe he met his future wife when he was
Yes.
in
Germany,
Germany,
something like that. Yes.
didn't he? Yeah. I don't know too much about the story, but I'm assuming that she wasn't German. I'm
No.
assuming she was like the daughter of
She was
an
14.
American. Yeah, oh my God. But Elvis was from the South, and in those days, probably in the in the state that he's from, which I believe is Georgia. Is he originally from Georgia? I
I
don't know.
think
Where's Memphis? Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Tennessee. So he originally from Tennessee. I would assume that's where Graceland is, near Memphis, right? Isn't it? I'm guessing out here
Let me
anyway,
look it up.
but I believe I'm right. But bottom line being, I always say the bottom line, right? That Elvis was from the South, and I think there are still states that say that it's okay to get married to someone that's
Well,
under
she was
12,
she
like
was older when they
12
got
and
married.
over. 12 and
He
over is
he
okay.
uh, he met her when she was 14.
Oh
So
my
they
God, Mississippi
didn't
says
see right
Hobo Roadie.
away.
See, we got not just the hostess with the mostest, you and me, the host with the most. We've got the chat sters like Hobo Roadie and a dear friend of mine. If you know that reference to that movie, a very very dear friend of mine. Anyway, Hobo Roadie knows his stuff when it comes to
And
vintage gear like that. And of course, I should have called you Janice, right? I called you
yes.
Janice. I'm sorry. Janice, Janice
Ugh.
Lala. Lala is here. And then we've got Ian's Guitar Shack as well.
Uh,
No, it wasn't from Spinal Tap. It was from a movie that had an actual hand grenade involved in the movie. Um, I should give it away, right? Should I keep you guys guessing? I'll tell you if you guys can't figure out what movie that's from.
what
A
movie was
very,
from?
very good friend of mine, a dear friend of mine. If you don't know what, it was kind of a cult classic, and it was one of the first movies that, if not the first, actual non-porno movie that Sylvester Stallone actually
Really?
was in. Yeah, yeah. And I'll give you another hint. His character's name was Joe Paterbo. Anyway, someone in the chat's gonna know. We got Rock Daddy also here. Yeah, Rock Daddy, I'm gonna hook you up with this guy Hobo Roadie right above here, and you guys are gonna help each other out, right? Yeah, yeah. I talked to Dane. Dane's gonna come on my show because he missed doing live shows. He said, but he can't do the evening shows because he wants to get out of there. He wants to get out of there. He doesn't want to be there, till late. He wants to go home. So we're gonna do an afternoon show with Dane. We're going to do a special report, a special early show with Dane from the shop, maybe at like 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock or something, when it's slow, from
4 o'clock.
his
Whose time? His time?
my time. So it'll be like 6 o'clock for you, maybe. Yeah, because if we do it at 3 o'clock from 3 to 4, it'll be a special report on Thursday with and maybe we'll do it on Wednesday. I don't know. We'll do it on a day, someday. Special report with Dane of Zim's Guitars because he misses doing lives, and I told him Johnny Bean does a lot of like just lives during the day now too, so he should hit him up as well. So I'm sure he probably already has, But yeah, we made a connection here, a love connection of the gas gear acquisition syndrome sort between Rock Daddy. All right, back to our show, which is the Music is Therapy show. And this is all therapy, right, Hobarati? This stuff is therapy for you. Therapy.
That's a little loud. I gotta lower my volume then maybe a little bit.
There, yeah. Sorry, I do it like Johnny. He puts it right up to his microphone. He's got one of them SM7s, you know. But I got this.
If that's even going to work.
I got the Jedi training globe here as a microphone, and it works, right? It's all right. It's not great. I'm sure if I went into how the software, because there's software that I can go into, that I can download that this comes with to improve it, you know. Yeah, it's better than working, right, Hobaroti? Well, you know what they say, Hobaroti. If you can do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. And I'm working my way towards that here on YouTube.
I want to thank Ian for his help last night.
Oh, right on. Ian of Guitar Shack. Ian's Guitar Shack.
Yes.
All these people here rock. Johnny Beans at Pete's Coffee. For once, you're at the very beginnings of Starbucks, where two guys who started Pete's was started after Starbucks. The guy broke off from Starbucks and he decided to do Pete's.
I know Pete's version. I know Pete's Coffee is in the store, but it's a store. It's a
Pete's
restaurant?
Coffee is just like Starbucks, but it's a different vibe.
It's an actual store.
It's an actual storefront, brick and mortar coffee place to go in, and it's a little less corporate, if you know what I mean. Not that there's anything wrong with how Starbucks does what they do, and they've corporatized their company, but they actually pay and treat their employees fairly well. You know, they have help for student loans for people. I mean, it's actually, if you don't want a stressful job and you want to go hang out in a coffee shop with cool music and people, in a good mood hanging out, working at Starbucks is probably not a bad place. If you want to like restart your life, or just want to, let's say you're retired and you have a ton of money in the bank, but you just want to hang out with people and be amongst people, and you don't want to do volunteer work or something else doesn't, come to mind. Like veterans, maybe helping our veterans and helping, families of lost and soldiers who've passed. That's something that I went back to school to do, and I still haven't done it. And I was thinking quite a bit yesterday and today, prepping for this show, doing all the background research that I do for this show. I mean, hours. You guys have no idea. Hours. I learned a lot doing this show, and I try to spread that. There's a lot of info in the description there, so check out the description. I hope there's no typos in there. I think there's one that I missed. But
I just want, when you finish that, I want to say something about
we'll say it now because you'll forget. Go ahead.
Like working at Starbucks is really not as all easy. I worked at my uncle's custard stand when I was like 14, 15, and 16 years old. And I was the counter attendant, and I made all the ice cream and all that kind of stuff. I did everything that he would do except for throwing the ice cream in the mixer. And you had to deal with the public, and sometimes you had a lot to deal with.
It can be stressful too, maybe, right? So it depends on the manager and how it's run. Like BC Rich here is making. Well, it depends on the
people talking to you too.
Yeah, sometimes they can. When you're dealing with the public, they can be mean.
With the public, yes.
Yeah, but BC Rich makes a really good point here. Until they try to unionize, right? And what's wrong with unions, right? Yeah, if you're not getting treated well by the big corporate dudes out there, or dudettes, or whoever's running stuff, right? Just trying to pop everyone into the thing here to say hi to them, that we acknowledge their existence here. We got Greasy Monkey also in the chat. Yeah, some things can be more complicated, I know. Yeah, hopefully that works out, you guys. I hope I created a good connection between you two out there. Scott Hawk is also here. What's up, Scott Hawk? Yeah, and anyone that's in the show here, new to the show, please subscribe, like, share. I'm trying to grow this show in particular, and we've got a good number here. We've got 22 people in here according to YouTube, StreamYard. And yeah, I'm hoping to grow this show because I really have a big heart for this. I mean, this is really not just Memorial Day and our fallen, military or anybody that fights for freedom and justice in some other way. Because some people fight for freedom and justice not in our military, working on front line. There should be front line day, right? Like frontline service people day. Why isn't there a day like that? Like policemen, fire patrol people, volunteer fire. There's a lot of volunteer fire
Yeah, a lot
people
of
that,
stuff like that.
hey, Scott Nickerson, right? Hey, oops, I almost clicked on like Batman. That's right, BC Rich. Batman. There's all kinds of Batmans out there. I don't know about vigilantism, but sometimes when there isn't enough service coming from our government and our entities in government, people do have to step up. That is what volunteer work is all about. In the description, I have a number of volunteer, nonprofit organizations that if you'd like to contribute to, and any donation today, if anyone sends me any donation today by PayPal. By the way, thank you, Frank Turzo, for sending me a $10 donation to my PayPal. Friends and family, please, if you do that, that way I don't have to deal with
I've never seen that
big man.
option on PayPal.
On PayPal?
Yeah, how do you get that?
When you go to pay, then it allows you at the point of paying the choice, friends and family or not. Now, it might depend on who sends you a link, because if someone sends you a link and they send you a link that's directly to like a business entity, that's different.
Okay.
But if you go to like my PayPal link, when you choose the payment option, you want to send it as a PayPal friends and family, because we're all friends here, right? Friends and family, right? And the bottom line is it's not a business transaction. So I'm actually, what my big hope is with this channel, Janice? I don't know if I've ever told you this. I think I've said this, on shows before. But I am involved in nonprofit organizations. I participate in the multiple sclerosis MS walk every year. If I can't go do the walk, I donate money for that charity. My cousin Suzanne has MS, so I support that. I've been, since childhood, I've been an active participating and volunteering member of the Hungarian American community here in the Bay Area, which started out at my grandparents as one of the founding members or founding families who started the Hungarian heritage kind of cultural groups around here. The St. Stephen's Club that became the Hungarian Center in San Francisco, and now morphed into became, in a sense, the Hungarian Heritage Foundation, a C3 organization that tries to, keep Hungarian heritage alive. And then there's a Hungarian scouting organization that I was involved in too. Still get involved in that kind of, volunteer work on a regular basis. And these are all things that I do because I was raised to appreciate my place in life that I was born into. I was born in America, here in San Francisco. The hospital I was born in was within a block from where all the hippies hung out and were, protesting the wars and trying to spread peace and love. And if you notice on my picture and my thumbnail, the picture of the thumbnail is, there's a little peace sign and then a, peace sign or victory sign, they said in the past. Peace sign and my face. And then, of course, today's topic, which is remembering, Memorial Day special, remembering our fallen, especially music and musicians in military and wartime, and then not wartime. But when are we not in wartime? That's another thing. When are we ever going to end it all? All the wars.
Terrible.
Right? I hope that we can someday have our children someday wake up to a world where they don't have to fear nuclear annihilation like I grew up in that, in our classrooms I remember it in my first grade class, doing duck and cover.
Yes, me too.
Like that's really going to actually stop you from getting hurt in a nuclear war. Come on. I mean,
for you now too,
maybe it would have, but
because we did all that because of because.
But it's probably earthquakes.
The Bay of Pigs,
right. Because that was the big standoff. I mean, the fingers were pretty much right over the buttons on that one. I think we went to DEFCON 3 or 4 on that one, right? So, and if you ever, watched movies like War Games, that was a classic 80s movie, we grew up with this, facing this possible, very possible threat of,
Yes.
nuclear annihilation. And we've recently even had Putin of Russia, I'm not going to get too political, but Putin of Russia even openly state that, if you do this or that, you're testing the waters of a nuclear attack. So it's a scary proposition when it comes to how people can seem to not get along. And one of the things I find helps us get along is music, right? So let's give
Right.
a big rounding applause
Like when
to
I was a little
music.
girl, we had, my window, my bedroom looked out
Uh-huh.
to the Westchester Country Club, and it was a big tower, and it was all out, above the trees was this tower, and I was so scared of that tower because I had a feeling that was where the bomb was going to be
Wow.
dropped right
Oh
there.
no.
And it's like I can still think about it now. It's still get
Yeah.
chills. That thinking that was a spot where I could be able to look out my bedroom window and see it all happen.
Right. And I grew up watching a lot of these war movies and TV,
Yep.
show things. I remember some of the movies that really, I guess probably, um, I guess maybe affected me, if not, influenced my thinking. Wars like A Bridge Too Far. Movies, I mean, about, like the Second World War, A Bridge Too Far. Movies like, even the movie like The War of the Worlds and things like that, like Attacking Aliens. That's a war
Right.
thing. Then there's all the Godzilla stuff.
And that was fighting too.
Yeah, you grow. I mean, when you're kids, what are some of the first toys you have when you're a boy in America? Little army men, right?
Yeah.
Um, GI Joe, all this stuff, and then came Barbie and Ken and all that. But Star Wars, one of the greatest, trilogy movies, 1, 2, and 3, right? The very first and second one, I think, were the two best ones. I thought the third one was okay, but the Ewoks, they should have stuck with the Wookiees on that one because that would have been cool. But they went with the little Ewoks. I don't know, and I thought that was silly. But the bottom line is that, everything's war, 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 war. Games. Johnny Beans playing with whatever that Mortal Kombat game is. I keep calling it that, but it's something else. Anyway, whatever that game's called, Kill 'Em All or whatever, right? It's war, war, war.
It's a
And
whale boats.
yeah,
Did you
whale
talk about that
boats. Oh my
today?
God, all these shows. And look what I'm wearing today. Top Gun. So why not Top Love instead of gun?
That's a good
How about Top
movie.
Love Gun? The movie was great, but there too was about war and about this young man's, search for himself, in a sense, Maverick, in the shadow of his father, not knowing. Yeah, I know Call of Duty. I know, dude. I always think of the bathroom for some reason when I hear that Call of Duty. Anyway, but Top Love Gun, right? Kiss. Yeah, that's right, BC Rich. Love Gun. Oh my God. But yeah, but the thing is, as human beings, and if you look at the wild kingdom out there too, there's no escaping battling for resources or whatever. It's an ongoing life, really is an ongoing struggle of survival and dominance in whatever sphere that your species happens to be in, right? No one species want to be dominated by another one, and our human species, when we get into our own groups, we don't want to be dominated by another one, and so we're always battling and fighting until maybe someday we'll find a way to live in peace with each other. And that's kind of my hope. But one of the ways I think, I try to, I think of myself as, because I'm not really doing it enough. That's kind of the thing. That's why I wanted to do this, and I felt almost ashamed, to be honest, Janice, that 11 years ago I posted on my Facebook page, on my personal one. I reposted graduation day at College of San Mateo, where I earned my transferable psychology degree and my social science degree, because I had plans to go back to college and get a full-on regular degree and doctorate degree in science and psychology, and I was very interested in neurobiology and the mind and how music affects the mind, and really wanted to be someone that championed music as a form of therapy, and I hadn't done it. I haven't completed it, and I'm still, always thinking about it, wanting to do it, but I'm distracted. I'm too easily distracted by a lot of other things, and then of course family and life issues too. There sometimes you make choices because of, you want to be there for someone else, and so you take up
Herb.
that mantle. Hey, what's up, Herb? A Fireside Studio. Yeah. Yeah, Steve Stevens ray gun. Have you checked out that amp as well? The Friedman one? Yeah, dude. I'd love to. I saw one of those at a Guitar Center. Dang. Man, if I had unlimited funds, the things I would probably buy. And I'll reiterate again, if anyone does donate during today's show to my show through my PayPal, I don't even know if I put that on the thing. I should probably check that because I don't think I did. Because I spend more time actually reviewing all this information than actually putting stuff onto the page that I normally put. And I should probably include that on there just so if you guys want to do it, if you want to donate by donating through me, that's fine. I'll be transparent and show you the actual donations. And as a matter of fact, I've already donated money to the Wounded Warrior project. That's a link that's on my description if you want to, check that and donate there. And also to the Guitars for Vets project, which I think is a good one. Both of those support veterans. The one thing that I'm hoping is those supporting organizations also support the families of lost military service members, people of their family, fathers, brothers, mothers, right? Sisters, cousins, whatever. When families lose a family member to a conflict in wartime, or even, in war, whatever, it could be even just preparing for war and just practicing, people get hurt, they go through a lot of struggles too. And it's not just, the death of someone. So we should remember those who are still alive. Really scary fact is, and why I put the Wounded Warrior information up there is that, and the Guitars for Vet thing up there is that, believe it or not, this is really scary. More military have died since the veterans, since the Vietnam War. So we're talking veterans of wars. More military members, service members have died since Vietnam than in those wars. Since then, okay,
Wow.
by suicide. 20 a day is the average suicide death by veterans. And a huge proportion of homeless people are veterans, way bigger than it should be. Whatever the number is, I don't even want to argue it. The very fact that they're homeless is just shameful. I mean, at the very least, are the money that this country generates as gross GDP, right, or net, whatever. At the very least, we should take care of those who gave their support and went to serve in the military and were honorably discharged and are homeless. And I don't think anyone chooses to be homeless. Okay, I really don't believe in any of that stuff. That's right, PC Rich. See?
Or maybe their choices
Oops.
make being homeless an eventual thing.
Yeah, 25% of veterans below the age of 55.
Because it depends on what you want to spend your money on.
I'm not sure what that means. 25% of veterans below the age of 55 are veterans. Okay. But anyway, so I did really want to say that, if there's anything that we as a musical community can do to help veterans and help families and people, like Ryan's talking about his family, a lot of veterans in his family too. Oh yeah, homeless, BC, that's right. 25% of veterans below the age of 55 are homeless. Yeah. And that's really sad. So that's a huge percentage of veterans, and I wonder what percentage of the homeless population that is too. But the very fact that music is such a powerful therapy, that veterans or anyone suffering from any of the things that I usually list at the top of our description, PTSD to all kinds of other trauma, music is such a healing, connecting emotion and feeling, expressing um, way that you can connect to yourself and to others, to reconnect to a sense of purpose in life. Music drops barriers, right? And it allows us to come together and see beyond our differences, and yeah, alphas and connect in a way that helps us then realize that, hey, you have some need, or I have an ability to help you with a need. I'm gonna try to help you with some skill or service I can offer, and I have multiple skills I could offer. That's the thing. So like I started out to say, I shouldn't feel shame, I guess, but at the same time I do. I feel a little bit of guilt and shame that I did not follow through on some of those, I guess, goals that I had. That I went to school for 2+ years to do that, and just like a lot of things in my life, I get distracted by a lot of other things, and like, this is fun and this is great that I'm doing this on the show right now, but at the same time I could be out there providing some service. So I'm hoping that this is in some way at least providing some kind of a service. And so if any donations do come to my show, let's just say this entire next coming month, okay, any donations that I get to my YouTube show, Music Therapy Last Show, anything from now through the end of June, all right, I'm going to take that donation and send it to Wounded Warriors, 50-50, to Wounded Warriors and to the Guitars for Vets organizations. And then I'll transparently report that to you all. And I am reporting that Frank the Terzo, thank you very much, Frank. When you see this, if you see this, I'm going to redo that card and put your name right up at the top. And every month, anyone that does donate to the show, I'm going to put, on that list. I'll update that list. And monthly, I'll redo that list, just like Johnny Bean kind of talks about his, memberships and stuff to help support his show. You have people like Metalhead Hippie that has a very, tight community and an amazingly inclusive community. I love that about Metalhead Hippie show, right? And he always posts every month, as people tally by the end of the month, he's got like 50 or more supporters up there. Yeah, it's really great, right? And that helps him do what he's doing, which gives people a place to put up their music and stuff. And I listen to it as much as I can, and go and subscribe to new people there as much as I can to help them support and grow their music and being able to express, into the world their music. And that's what I think music, like I was saying about with military and how it helps, I think it's a really big deal if you're able to do that kind of thing, help people through music. It can be life transforming. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So let me go ahead and update my my YouTube channel here. Yeah, just gotta add this stuff here.
It's like my father was 4F. He couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too.
It was his ear was a busted eardrum. They didn't let him in. My uncle was very much injured with his hands during an industrial accident at work. And so his hands were like disfigured a little bit. And one day he was at some party or a bar or something like that, and somebody said, "Hey, you hotshot! Why aren't you wearing your uniform? What makes you so special that you don't have to serve like we do?" And he goes, "Well, if you had hands like this, would you be able to serve?" It's disfigured hands. And after that, he went into a shell, and he was very much out of it. He was very
Yeah.
mentally challenged because of that. Because that one thing that made him feel like he was a less than person, and he kind of like went nuts.
Yeah, that's sad. Yeah.
Uncle Bobby.
Yeah. And that's the sad thing about like the shaming thing and the judging thing. I think that's
Yep.
really unfortunate because there are plenty of reasons why someone might not want to serve, and that's why I say that military service may not be the only service that matters. Okay. For example, when Jimi Hendrix did join the military, he was in the military for just 1 year, and he was honorably discharged because of I'm not sure if it was an injury, if it was that they said that, hey, you should do something to serve through your musical gifts or something, because I think he did play music in a military band. BB King, as a matter of fact,
Oh,
was
really?
in the military, and they honorably just discharged him because he had farming skills that they said were more important as a tractor driver than his physical military skill as a military personnel, as someone in the army. So they sent him back to farm. There's also some really infamous kind of stories of like Ray Manzarek, and he served and was in Laos, and famously brought home a duffel bag of marijuana that he had grown while in
Really?
Laos. Yeah, so he's one of those guys. Leg injury. Thank you, Ian. Yeah, leg injury for Jimi Hendrix. And many others, too, that had been military service members. The thing is that a lot of times you can serve your country and your fellow man in the world, fellow man and woman in the world, right? In other ways. So don't feel bad if you can't serve. I couldn't serve. I wanted to be a Top Gun in the sense that I wanted to fly jets. And that was before that first Maverick movie or whatever it was called came out. Top Gun came out before Iron Eagle, any of that stuff. I'd been I think it was that show where
Iron
they
Eagle.
had those
Oh,
what
yeah.
what was the show that they had that was about that squadron of P-51D Mustangs in the Pacific Theater of the Second World War. I think it was Baba Black Sheep or something. Let me look it up.
Gene Hackman.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was Gene Hackman was in that. Let me see. Content. I gotta change this one.
Wasn't there one that he was looking for his son or something like that? Gene
No,
Hackman?
it was no, it wasn't. So it was a series that was just about the exploits of this group.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was Baba Black Sheep. See, Black Jack guitar knows. Yeah, I do too, man. My family was able to escape communism and came here. My grandmother, my grandfather, my dad arrived, and there are pictures of him. I actually have the clip from the newspaper um, of when my dad arrived in Houston, Texas, and he was greeted as a freedom fighter from communist Hungary, fighting freedom for freedom. Yeah, they did. They led a lot of people. They helped a lot. He was a young 20-something border guard, and he helped people escape at threat of his own life. he helped a lot of people escape, and luckily they found out from somebody that the Russians were going to be there really soon, and so they had to leave now too, and so they all did. What's up, Mark's gas station? But let's talk some more about the music stuff here. I wanted to change the description of this show. Let me see if I can do that while it's on. I don't think I can. I have to wait till it's over. So when it's over, I'll put the PayPal thing on there, but it's on all of my descriptions. But better yet, just go yourself to those links that I have on the description already and click on it. Let me find them. Actually, I'll bring them up and find them here on YouTube. Right here, right? Let's go ahead and go there. And where's my channel? and yeah, keep sharing your experiences, people in the chat about how do I go and view your channel? There you go. Exploits. If you were in the military, tell us some stories. If you have some family members that were in the military, tell us some stories. of that. Let me see. How do I get to the description here? Oops, I better turn that down. And let me see. I'm hoping I can copy and paste from here because that's my, yeah. Oh,
there was quite a write-up that you did with your picture when you did your preview for Facebook. That was the write-up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's in the description.
I read that before we came on.
Right, that's what I try to do with my descriptions. So that way I can like give you guys a little more to learn about. So here, I'll post this over here. So that's the guitarsforvets.org. You guys should be able to click on that, right? Do you see that, Janice?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then there's this other one, which is the Wounded Warrior Project. They're matching whoever's the other donor, I'm not sure, but they're getting a 1-to-1 match. So if you donate $1, they get 2. So that's super cool, right? There you go. So click on either one of those links if you want to, and then let's see if there's a way for me to do this. Let's see. Go to my channel. Go to one of my other. Go to my other videos here, and then I can pull up. What's this? No, it's not anymore. Here we go. From the Gear and Demo show. Yeah, I've got my various things here. Let's see. Support with the PayPal thing. Yeah. So, yeah, like I said, I'll put this in the description as well, and then I'll just continue to keep posting it. Oh, is he in the chat? Frank Terzo? Dude, thank you for your support, man. It's going to go, your $10 is going to go to the Guitars for Vets, if you like. Or I'll just split it 50-50 and $5 each. So anyone that uses that link there to my PayPal for the next month through June, which is my birthday month, by the way, so that'll also be my birthday present. As a matter of fact, I've chosen several different, ways that you can support people out there that I'm in support of. MS, of course, and then there's other ones as well. But all right, let's hear some stories from the chat here.
You see what I'm doing here right now? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. What are you doing? Yeah. So hopefully those links work for you. Tell me if it works. Somebody click on a link there. Tell me if it takes you there. Hopefully it works. I'm going to go to the live chat myself. Yeah, it looks like it works. I'm going to click on my phone. It did. Wow, look at that. Livermore, California. Last Lindell. Okay. So if you do that, then definitely friends and family. You can even make a note. Which one would you like it to go to? I just lost the light. Which one of the two C3 organizations helping veterans and military family would you like it to go to? There's also some other ones on the description that I posted. Uh-huh. Oh, there you go. Smart. Yeah.
So we're
that's how you do.
We're okay, right?
Yeah, as long as you're not getting freaked out by 2 different times of people talking.
It's not
and I
talking.
also put there's also some information there. If you want to get involved, there's you can help. There's an organization called the Special Forces Foundation.org. They also do some things when it comes to helping Special Forces, Green Berets, and their families while they're still alive and functioning, right? So servicing these people or helping them in service, right? So that's a good thing, right? Don't you think? I do.
Hi, Mitch.
Go back to this one here. And we'll Mitch Heyman, is that Mitch? Mitch, we got a bunch of people into your show yesterday. It was cool, right?
Mitch helped me with my stream.
Mitch is great at that. He's I think he worked in the computer, troubleshooting business of sorts, right? At some point. And so he knows quite a bit about how computers and stuff work, and he's a great help to many when it comes to that. So I keep pasting all this stuff in here, you guys. So help keep our special forces fit and healthy. You can donate there too if you want. So if you want a specific donation sent to one of these places through my channel, you can do it through my PayPal or do it directly, you know. But it would be cool for me to see how many people actually donated through this channel, because I want to see like what kind of a reach am I having with this channel and what I'm doing, the Music is Therapy show, you know. I'm hoping that I'm making a difference. Yeah. Hey. Oh my God. All right, Zach. What's up, Zach? I got to get your money to you, dude. I wish I could send you things. You know, I think I could send you a card and that'll make it to you, but any packages, good luck. Canada's, I don't know what Canada's doing with their packaging system. Yeah, just ends up costing you guys money because you have to pay for picking it up from your customs or something, right? Janice is probably EDMing right now. I hear something in the background.
You hear it? How could you hear that?
Yeah, I can hear it. It must be coming through. Cover your microphone that's on your ear thing. Go like this.
Here's one.
Oh, I can still hear it.
Wait. Here's another one.
Yeah, cover them both with your hands. Let's see if it stops. That's probably why, because it's probably picked. See, now we can't hear it because he covered the microphone. You let go of it, and it'll probably start picking it up again. Anyway. All right, so I want to see like some stories from you guys, and then we'll talk some more about some of these famous musicians. Should I list them off? I could do that. Why don't we do that? I could totally hear it, Janice. It's kind of loud. It's almost as loud as when you play the guitar when we're talking.
Oh no!
I know.
Here's this one.
Yeah, I can hear it all. I can hear it. Yeah.
This one is okay.
No, I still hear it. It's not working. I can hear it.
I'll lower it.
You'll have to lower it. Yeah. Anyway, so let's talk about some of the military that are musicians, famous musicians, and talk about some of their I guess, famous and or infamous musical backgrounds. What do you guys think? So there's this couple lists that I put links to. Loudwire did info. I put info on musicians in the military. So 16 musicians who've served in the U.S. military. Let's click that one. And they usually have pictures and they talk about some of these people. So these are people who served. So Jimi Hendrix, one of the most famous, right? Cites that Jimi Hendrix's decision to enlist in the army wasn't completely by free will. It was either serve or do jail time. I didn't know that. Wow. Probably got in trouble for smoking the ganja, right? He was given honorable discharge a year into his 3-year term. Let's just say he was much more skilled guitarist than obedient soldier. So that's one of those who passed away, right? Then we have some that are still alive, I believe, right? Like, for example, Maynard James Keenan, originally known as James Herbert Keenan, told MTV he joined the Army in hopes of eventually going to art school. His military stint is where he picked up the name Maynard. There you go. So that was like his military nickname, like you get your nickname, like Joker, like.
Which is the one that you could hear?
Metal
Jacket.
Jacket.
This one?
Well, I don't hear it as much now. It's gone now, kind of. Yeah, if you're holding your hand over it right now, that's the way to go. Ice-T, also still alive, joined the military for its financial benefits after he graduated from high school in order to support his family, military.com says. He served for 4 years and was deployed to Hawaii. How about that? Of course, Elvis Presley, no longer with us. Well, some say he is. Was drafted at the age of 22 to serve 2 years active in the Army and 4 years in the reserves. He had already become a notable figure in the entertainment industry as both a musician and actor, but he balanced both lives well, even earning the title of sergeant, according to military.com. Look at that. Then we got Fred Durst. You know, you guys know from Limp Bizkit and whatnot, right? Fred Durst spent 2 years in the Navy, but left at the age of 20 to start a career as a tattoo artist. So they just say left. I'm not sure what that means. As stated by All Music, he later ended up forming Limp Bizkit, and the rest is history. And then, of course, Ray Manzarek, famed keyboardist of the Doors, right? One of my favorite keyboardists. After attending DePaul University, the Doors keyboardist enlisted in the Army and was assigned to the Army Security Agency. Ah, part of the Illuminati, are you, Ray Manzarek? Um, So, a friend of his, Britt Leach, a fellow enlistee, wrote an account of serving in Japan with the musician in an online blog. Manzarek was eventually shipped to Laos, but wrote letters to Leach about how he how he played in bands and smoked cannabis. And then, but there's a story that he came home with a duffel bag of cannabis, right? And then we have some other like younger, newer musicians still alive. Phil Labonte or Labonte, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, from the band All That Remains, told us that he came from a line of veterans and joined the Marines in '93. He wasn't able to complete his full term. However, he sustained a bad ankle injury and was given honorable discharge. I guess that's one way to get out of the Army, right? You just injure yourself or you get injured. John Fogerty, I believe, still with us, right? Frontman of Creedence Clearwater Revival, had been drafted in '66 for the Vietnam War, but instead went to a local Army Reserve, recruited to sign up. He was discharged in '67, just in time for the band to kick off. And then I've never heard of Jason Everman, but if any of you guys have, briefly played in Soundgarden and Nirvana before serving multiple tours in Iraq and Afghanistan with the Army. I wonder if he's still alive and doing well. I hope so. Yeah, and then we have a number of other people. Alternative press reports about the frontman of Assuming We Survive, Adrian Estrella. He joined the Army to escape a lot of issues he had at home in his family life. When he completed his term, he went to California to pursue music. And then famously, the man in black himself, Johnny Cash, spent 4 years in the Air Force, starting when he was 18, was later honorably discharged as a staff sergeant. So he didn't get injured. He did it all the way the right way. I'm just kidding, you guys. No judgment. I'm just joking around, according to military.com. So if you want to check out some other information about some of these guys, go check out military.com. Now, this is the most infamous of all stories of a musician, in my mind, that you would never guess was military. Jerry Garcia. Do you believe that? Can you believe it? Very true. The Grateful Dead icon told Rolling Stone he was forced to join the Army in 1960 as punishment for stealing his mom's car.
My ex-husband,
Hold on.
was
Hold on, let me finish this story. This is too much funniness. So because he stole his own mom's car, he was being punished, and he was forced to join the Army, maybe by his dad or some other family member or whatever, or the police. I don't know. He was given a general discharge later. So that's not honorable, just generally discharged, whatever that means. That year, the first year he was there, due to his lack of involvement, the story goes, I've read this elsewhere, the story goes is that he was the least military personality that the military have ever encountered in their life, because he was the very definition of the opposite of any military person. So he refused to do anything militaristic. And however he, might have cited his reasons as a peaceful, happy pot smoking dude, he just refused to fight. and even trained to fight, and just decided that he's just going to make music. And that's
my ex-husband. He
got
into
freedom.
trouble. It was either the military or jail, so he went to jail. I mean, he
went to jail.
Military, and he got exiled like to Iceland or something like that for a year or so.
Wow. So when so hold on. So say that again because I didn't get the full
It
story.
was
So he
either
went to
jail
jail.
or military. So he went military, and
Oh, he did.
they put him in Iceland. And I think he would
Iceland.
have been better off in jail. But that
Maybe,
was
but
long
you know
before
what could
me.
happen? They might put you in jail and then you come out and you still have to go to the army.
True, that's true.
And then you can't even vote after that. So you're in worse shape.
Oh,
If you
you can
become a
vote.
one thing that's really bad about becoming a convicted criminal of any kind is you're going to lose your right to vote, man. And that's what freedom. You just lost your freedom there.
Jim voted.
So yeah, because he served in a
He had a
different way. He
felony.
didn't go to
Jim,
well they
Jim, the guy that just died.
yeah,
My
they
guy.
must have expunged his record or something because you can't vote if you're a convicted
Felon.
criminal, a felon, from what I understand, unless you get it expunged or some kind of special something or another, right? That's one of the things you lose.
Greenland.
So drummer of Leonard Skinner, Artemis Pyle. Let's see, he played with the band in the 70s. Later in the 80s, prior to his musical career, he enlisted in the Marines in '68. Eventually worked his way up to rank of sergeant. He was honorably discharged in '71. It doesn't say if he was in Vietnam or not, but it looks like it from his picture. Anyway, no laughter in the sense that a lot of people that went to and came back from Vietnam were changed, in not good ways. Chris Henderson, guitarist of Three Doors Down, still alive, is a veteran of the U.S. Navy. Both his grandfather and father also served, so he knew he wanted to enlist in the Navy since he was a kid, according to an interview. I was enamored with the whole idea of serving my country because my family was given a place to find freedom and live in peace. And so for me, that was one of the reasons why I joined the Air National Guard when I was not even 18 yet, but I was 4-H'd out. I actually did all the paperwork, did all the tests. My mom had a friend who was a colonel, and he said to her that, hey, I can make your son an aide because he wants to fly jets. And, I don't know what made any of these people, if they just took one look at me, like the doctor at the place, and he just took one look at me. He's like, can you see out of your left eye? I'm like, no, not really. And he's like, what are you doing here? You can't be peeling potatoes at the mess hall. If the enemy comes around, to our left or to your left, you won't see him. They'll kill us all. What are you doing here, kid? I'm like, nobody told me I can't be in because I'm blind in my left eye. So that was one of the reasons why my senior year of high school sucked, because I had all these plans and all these ideas of what I was going to maybe do with my life, and none of them were working out. None of them were going the way I wanted them to go. So I moved back to California and started over and played music. Anyway. Oh, I'm looking at the YouTube thing. I want to look at the live chat here. So 2 years in Germany in the 70s turned my brother into an animal. Yeah, see, man, that's the thing. I hope he had some solace with some music. Yeah, but yeah, Greenland or Iceland, any of those like wintry places, dude. Not fun places to be in the military because it's cold and you still got to go out there and stand around and guard and do all those things, right? Let's see, other stories. Mitch. So you used to work with a guy that was in service with Elvis. Dude, he must have had stories. Do you know any? Can you tell us a story? That'd be cool. If anyone in here wants to come on the show, like Mitch, if you want to come on the show right now and tell the story like that, I'll send you a link, man. Send me I'm sure I got you in my let me look for you in my emails. Mitch. Let me put Mitch Heyman. Mitch Hammond.
If you want, he could take over my space.
Why would you give up your space? No, I'm not finding a match here, Mitch. Okay. Match. I don't want you to leave. I know you want to leave. Where do you want to go?
No, I'll stay.
Okay, it's already 11 o'clock, so it's past the hour. But yeah, let's keep talking about these musicians. And why don't you read off the chat to me if you find something in the chat, Janice? If you find something interesting in the chat, you can read that out to me while I'm reading this. Well, just interrupt me.
Cherish every day you have with with her. That's what Peggy's saying to Ryan. But cherish
Yeah,
your,
yeah,
in general, just cherish every day you have with everybody.
yeah. That's the best way that, like at the end of what was that movie with Matt Damon and Private Ryan, Saving Private Ryan. At the end of that movie, he says that he hopes that he has fulfilled, when he went to the graveside of his captain or whoever that he, the Tom Hanks character that he followed through, during the Normandy invasion. And he says, I hope I lived up to, the debt I owe, in a sense, to you all for giving your lives for me to be alive and the family that I've raised, and hoping that he had raised a good family, and that their sacrifice was worth his life. Can you imagine having that? Yeah. So some other famed musicians here, but yeah, the story of Jerry Garcia just cracks me up, because um, that's like the most infamous military service of any musician. It totally fits him, right? But Toy Caldwell, that's his real first name, I believe, Toy Caldwell, of the Marshall Tucker Band, served in the Marines in the late 60s and was discharged in 69. During his time in the Marines, he was wounded in Vietnam, but returned for duty after being evacuated. How about that? How about that, huh? Wow. Yeah. And then we've got, patriotic Americans who, have shown their patriotism through their musical, exploits or performances. Metallica, known for, being strong supporters of the veterans and military families. They put a lot of time and money into performing for them through the USO, as well as other. There's going to be a celebration tonight. I don't know if you ever watched it. I always, if I don't watch it at the actual time, I do put it on. And I was watching last year's this morning while I was prepping and having breakfast, listening to that while I was doing the show. Is the concert, the Memorial Day concert held on the west lawn of the White House in Washington, D.C. Over several 100,000 people show up for that free event. As a matter of fact, what's really kind of cool is the character from the movie, what was his name? Lieutenant Dan. Lieutenant Dan. Remember that? Lieutenant Dan.
Yes.
You know who? Yeah. Lieutenant Dan is the, what's the name of the actor? It's got an interesting first name. I had it saved. Yeah, yeah. All right, you know what? I have it over here on my phone, but my phone's about to die. 5% power left. Hold on. You know what? I'm going to plug it in. I have a feeling it's going to be fine if I leave my computer the way it is. Yes, it is fine. So, yeah, Sinise. So he's going to be the headlining actor, person who is going to be at that event, just like he was last year, and he's been doing it for many, many years. So let me look it up. So, wow, where'd it go? I had it. Oh yeah, Gary Sinise. So he has a normal first name, but just last name was difficult for me to recall. So he's the co-founder of an organization called Operation Iraqi Children that help feed and educate school children in Iraq, during and since that conflict. They consider Gary, the military armed forces, that is, and many others, consider him a true hero. He has raised more than $300 million for veterans and their families as of February 23rd, 2023. So probably more since then, because it's been another year plus several months, right? He's an honorary Marine, as well as I think an honorary naval. So they've all like given him an honorary membership of sorts, and he's on the Advisory Council of Hope for the Warriors, a national nonprofit dedicated to provide a full cycle of non-medical care to combat wounded service members, their families, and families of the fallen from each military branch. So if you want to look for nonprofit, that you want to put money towards, or if you can donate, that's one that's helping people that have either already lost a member. So not just a veteran who's alive and helping them, but family members who are coping with and dealing with, a lost family member as well. Finding housing. I mean, how do you think people become homeless? They for whatever reason can't find housing. And we see it in our own Bay Area here too. There's a lot of homeless in the Bay Area because it's one of those cities and one of those, liberal cities in areas of the country where there's an open arm kind of attitude toward people that are down on their luck. A lot of young people take advantage of that, and they come here from all over and become homeless on the streets and panhandle for money, and who knows what they're using it for. But I don't believe anybody would be doing that in their right mind if they're truly homeless and not one of these like shysters that's out there conning people, pretending to be homeless, right? Because we've seen that happen before too, and it's a regularly occurring thing as well. But the bottom line is that a lot of people do come here because it's good weather. There's a lot of people with a lot of money and bleeding hearts, or big open hearts, if you want to call it that. I'd rather call it open heart rather than bleeding heart. Open-hearted people that are willing to help people, and I'm one of those guys. I usually give people money when they're asking for it. I don't judge. I try to help if I can. I don't always have cash on me, so I can't always do that, but I do try. And I've been called a bleeding heart before, and that's fine. Whatever. I just, if I was ever in the position where I had to ask somebody on the street for money, that's got to be pretty low, man. I never want to be in that position. And I've been in pretty tough times. Right now, I'm going through.
Mitch is talking to you.
Yeah, Mitch. All right, let me see, Mitch. Did you send me an email? Yeah, I'll come on if you send me a link. Yeah, you messaged me in Messenger. All right, I'm sending you the link, dude. Mitch, where are you, Mitch? To my music therapy one, or which one? Yeah, there you are. Okay. Mitch, here you go, buddy. Let me see if I can get the correct link to send you. I want to send you last week's show. Here we go. Invite a guest. There we go. All right, sending now. You should have received it. There you go. Jump in, bro. Yeah, I was watching Mitch's show the other day, and I think, Mitch, you're from the Midwest, right? You're out in Tornado Alley somewhere where
Maryland.
Maryland. Okay, so you get even worse weather. Wetter weather. Yeah, Peggy gives money sometimes, but it depends. Yeah, that too. Sometimes you just want to be like, yeah, I don't know. This guy doesn't look like this whoever. But if they're a musician, like playing music out in front of sometimes they're playing out in front of Trader Joe's on a harmonica or whatever, I'll give them a little. I know where the blues sandblasted ended up. Oh, okay. Guitar talk. Guitar talk from MGM. Who's MGM? I just got a Skype notice. Okay, I'm not sure what that refers to, but
you're on Skype, Laz?
Yeah, I always suck.
I'm on Skype.
Yeah,
we should Skype sometime.
Me. Yeah, okay.
I'm Janice.Lala.
Well, I can just call you. I mean, you and I have our phone numbers. I can just video chat you. Anyway, let's bring in Mitch Heyman.
Hello again,
That's
Mitch.
the wrong button. I meant to hit this button, Mitch. Hold on. Wrong button. I do that all the time.
Hello.
What's up, bro?
How's
it going, man?
Tell
us this Elvis story.
My audio okay?
Yeah, sounds great. Okay. Yeah. Little reverb in that room. You know what you need? Some of these Roxy's guitar hangers back here. So
I got a mobile home. I don't have much room behind these walls.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna help you out after the show. I'll tell you how to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I do have stuff back there because I was thinking about doing that because everything. I got 15. I got 2 racks behind me.
Yeah, I see that. Well, you can even put this, what I have in mind for you. You can put it up. It's super cheap. Make it yourself, and it'll look cool too. I'll give you some tips on it. But yeah, it does help in my room to, acoustically treat the room. Mm-hmm. And I'm not really doing it right either because I only have 4 up there right now. But yeah, so my studio is an ongoing planned thing.
It's very small.
But yeah, mobile homes are great because not a lot of investment. You can move around, and it's a great way to
Yeah, we downgraded.
live your retirement.
It's hard for my wife to, everything's on one floor, so it's easier for her.
Awesome.
But anyway, I worked for the same company for 40, like 3 days shy of 46 years because they relocated, which was the Solo Cup company or.
The Red Cup.
Well,
the Party Cup.
It was like, Dark Container Corporation, they purchased Solo Cup. Yeah. Anyway, so this guy, he Ray, I'm not going to say his last name, he died about maybe 15 years ago. But at the wake or the funeral services, inside, and he had pictures of him in his service, and he always talked about it. And then he had pictures of him growing up, and he had a picture of a whole bunch of people in this little circle with Elvis, because he was in a circle.
Oh, very cool.
That's all. That's all I know about it. He from West.
That's it.
That's it. It wasn't that much to tell.
All right, hold on.
But it was.
No, I'm kidding.
Well, I was saying it was really not that much. He would talk about it.
No, he was like, I'm messing with you.
Yeah, he was one of the old timers that worked there. Because he was, he died while.
I love talking to old people. Don't you love talking? I mean, I guess I'm old now, compared to a lot of people.
I'm old.
Me old, and
I'm old, but
I love talking. With
I'm pretty sure I'm not the oldest one in here right now. I'm not.
Correct.
I've got stories. I think Janice has got a leg on us there.
My wife is 73.
Wow. All right.
My wife said I'm 60.
So you married an older woman?
I did the second time.
Wow, smart guy.
This is my second. This will be our 40th. I think it's going to be our 40th this year. And this is my second marriage and her second marriage.
Yeah.
But
I was wise enough to marry, or we're not married, but we're like married. My sweetie and I have been together for like 13 years now. We're going on, I think, 14.
But you're not. Well,
we never got. She doesn't want to get married. Maybe if I buy her a house, that'll be her wedding.
Right. But you were married before then, weren't you?
She was, yeah.
Weren't it wasn't
a great experience. Yeah, me too. Neither one of us had a great first marriage experience, and so I guess we're older and wiser, and we're
when
why?
You get married at 21, and
Yeah, but maybe someday we'll maybe if there's a reasonable purpose to it, like financially it makes sense, we do it, but right now it doesn't. It's almost better if we keep separated.
But the kids are the ones that suffer.
We're domestically we did, but I don't know if we would have suffered more or less if my parents stayed together. So to be honest, I think it was probably the right thing for both of them to do. I think they both were happier people, but it did disrupt our lives quite a bit. But it might not have been much. It might have been even more disruptive to us if they stayed together. To be honest, so.
Real fast, I can tell you.
Yeah,
I had an accident yesterday, which I mentioned on my show.
Yeah, I watched that, but some of it because I don't usually watch those shows during the day.
I'm random. I don't know. I don't do anything.
Yeah, it's all right.
But
I lurk, so I listen.
My wife, she has a hard time getting around, right? She had a knee replacement, so that's a lot better. But anyway, on her bed, we got kind of a high bed. And she has like a hassock. It helps her. Plus, it's easier. And the dog, we got our dogs.
Little steps. They have the little steps that get up, right?
Well, you can see it right
look
there.
Look at that, yeah.
So it's easier for her to go. Anyway, so I got to go past her to go to my bathroom, And I tripped over that yesterday. We're getting ready to go out. I was going in to brush my hair. I was changing my shirt, and which I've done before, but I didn't catch myself this time. And I fell. My hand went through the. It's not sheet. It's less than sheetrock. It's not even that thick. So I got about 3 by 3 inch hole in the wall, and I hit her dresser next to the bed like that, and banged my knee up, scratching a little bruise here, but nothing broken. And 263 pounds. And I'm lucky I didn't break anything. Of course, if it was a month ago, it would have been 294 pounds or 2 months.
I'm glad to hear you're losing some weight, man.
I'm only a third there. Yeah,
you're on your way.
Life, all my life I've been like I said. I'm not going to gain it back, but I do. But I'm not. I'm running out of time to live, and I'm tired of.
You're running out of time to live.
Yeah, so I got.
I've never heard of anyone put it that way.
Me too.
Well, we all are. Whether we like it or not.
Yeah,
it's just a fact.
People die at my age.
I mean, Earl, yeah, younger than us. I mean,
This
just
is
like
the year people die,
I've been with that company for 46 years, and just all the people that are
Yeah.
gone.
And today, that's such a rare thing that somebody's with one company for so long. Nowadays,
I
I
people
was.
are
know.
always, yeah. So you guys are of that generation. I think that shows the
Actually,
difference between the
you're
boomer
right,
gen,
but
because you guys are boomer generation, right? You're
Right, right,
boomers.
right.
You're
Yes,
born
we are.
before
Yep,
65, right?
yep, yep,
So
yep.
anyone born before 65 is a boomer. I was born
Oh
in
yeah,
66, so I'm right on the edge, on the
baby boomers.
cusp of
Yep,
the X gen.
I was born in
You guys are,
52.
right.
yeah, you guys are baby boomers. Yep.
Oh, you're
So
what? Okay, Mark. You say you're younger than Margaret. Okay, she's born in
I'm,
51.
mm,
I mean
52.
Janice.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, Janice, yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, one of the experiences that was different for me compared to a lot of other American kids that I grew up around was that I had the Hungarian community and culture that I came from, that I grew around. I had that very strong sense of heritage,
You
but
were
I was
born
still an
there.
American kid. No, I
Were
was
you?
born here
Oh,
in
you
San
born there?
Francisco.
Gotcha,
Yeah,
gotcha.
I was born to parents that met here, that
Oh,
escaped communist Hungary during the 56 revolution, the first country to
mm-hmm.
revolt against Russia. Succeeded for 2 weeks, and then nobody helped them like they promised. Nobody came to their aid. All these, free nations say, hey, if anyone stands up to Russia, we'll back you. Nobody backed them. And then the Russians said, well, no one's backing them. So they rolled in with their tanks, surrounded Budapest, and just bombed it straight days and nights for like a week or so,
Yeah.
and pounded them and killed them into submission. You had children, throwing Molotov cocktails at Russian tanks. Look it up. The history of it is fascinating.
I mean, it's terrible.
And the very fact that they were able to stand up to Russia and win at that time, because they did win, and for 2 weeks they were free. If somebody did come to their aid, like we're trying to aid Ukraine or anyone else that's wanting freedom in the world to some degree, we were not the best. America hasn't always been the best example of fighting for freedom. The genocide of American Indians here, and a lot of other, installations of power.
The true Americans.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, like I was saying at the beginning of the show, when it comes to nature and our very nature as a living being on this planet, we have primal instincts that drive us to take over a region that we can control for our own survival. And some of those primal feelings and thoughts and things in our mind, these sometimes it's just emotional drives that we don't even control, drive us to want to have power and to have control, because it's part of our basic primal instinct to survive and procreate. And
that's a good
way.
You
can't do that. I mean, I studied this in psychology. This is the point, is that why I'm doing this show, is that I studied this in psychology. It's part of our natural behavioral part of our being, that now that we're a much more consciously and cognitive thinking, society, or, group of human beings, we do, understand these things differently now.
But we're still killing each other. Why are we still killing each other? In 2024, why is man killing each other?
I'll answer that real easy. I'll tell you exactly how. Why do you eat sugary foods or drinks? Why do you get attracted to? Well, yeah, because you're having to take action, because you know how damaging it is to you.
Yeah.
Why are people attracted to advertisements that have sex as a attractant in it, right? The attractive young people,
that's different than
because
killing each other.
No, it's not. It's part of our. No, it isn't. Hear me out. It is directly connected to our primal instinctual behavior and our old brain, which is in more control of our behavior than we even want to sometimes accept or admit. And in modern science and technology, psychology and everything else too, medicine, brain functioning, metabolic health, all this kind of stuff, like Michael B was talking on my show before. I'm going to have him on again, by the way, you guys, soon. Michael B is going to talk some more about what you eat makes you who you are. You heard that when you were a kid, right? Mm-hmm. You are what you eat, kid, Yes. But they're the ones giving us the box of cereal. That's nothing nutritious really in it. It's just basically sugar and grains, carbohydrates and sugar with milk. The best part of that might have been the milk, But the bottom line is that we've been, as a society and culture in America here, fed foods and drinks that are actually killing us now, and it's causing all kinds of problems for us health wise. More people have diabetes or diabetic now than ever before, and this is all related to, you know, what our instinct tells us to do. Our instinct tells us, oh, sugary substance, eat it, make it into fat cells, because that helps the body live through the winter that's going to come. That's, you know, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of years of evolution that made our body and our brain function to do that, right? It's a functional thing. It has nothing to do with it has nothing to do with our conscious thinking. It's something that we behave upon based on our instinctual kind of drives, sexual drive, drive for survival, hence drive for dominance and power, you know, the A personality, you know, the macho guy. Why is the girl attracted to the macho guy? She can't help it.
Well,
why is the macho guy such a jerk? Because he's a macho guy, you know.
If I got in an incident with some road rage or somebody,
yeah,
or an argument, I'm not going to want to kill the person. There's no way. I mean, I've been in this situation.
Right. So, but it's not about whether you will kill them or not, but the very fact that road rage occurred in your brain is not your fault. It's part of your instinct. What is your fault?
Yeah, but I mean,
being able to acknowledge that.
And you're saying some people, it's because of our nature. They're going to want to kill. I'm not going to do. You know, I can disagree. In politics, I can disagree with you.
No, I know.
Think any bad of you? Not you. I'm just saying.
Right.
You know,
right.
Right and left. You can
understand. I'm not saying that it's going to make you a killer. I'm saying, or make you, you know, want to kill someone. I'm just saying that is a primal instinct of all animal, or, you know, all creatures are trying to survive. It's part of their survival instinct. So it's like this basal instinct in us that drives us. And unless we recognize, not to just kill, to survive. No, you're taking it to the extreme, Mitch. I'm saying that it's a basal instinct to want to survive. And how do you survive? By protecting yourself and your group or whoever around you. How do you do that? By taking over territory that you can then therefore, you know, protect and control, so you can get food and whatnot in that territory. So it expands outward, right? But these basal instincts are basal. They're part of our old brain, and they're instinctual. Just like when you smell a pheromone that you can't personally, you don't consciously smell it, but it will affect you. Just like women who, when they get in a crowd and they're together for a little while, their menstrual cycles all start to coalesce at the same time. Why? Because that means that they'll all have a more equal shot in the group to get pregnant by the man. Are they controlling that thing? No, they're not. It's something that's part of their instinctual, you know, behavior. That's you know, over hundreds of thousands of years of evolution has gotten our species to where it's at, the top of the food chain when it comes to, you know, the big boys on the block or girls or whatever. You know, we're the controller of our entire world to a degree, because we've evolved to this point. But we also have to recognize how some of the drives that are instinctual make us behave in ways that are destructive as well, like warring. But that's part of, like, it's like connected to it. So it's really interesting stuff. Anyway, you guys want to learn more about that, we'll do a show all about that if you want.
Yeah, I think
today's show was all about music, Mitch. We're talking about like musicians that have brought their talents and how their talents actually affected their military service, whether during service, after service, you know. And I think it's a great way, especially for people like us, musical people, like Herb of Fireside Studio here, right? Yeah, he's got to drive to get a beer. There you go. You know, we're able to, perhaps, if we're not going to be able to fight to protect our kind or our group or whatever, there's other ways that we can serve. And some people serve by being an anti-establishment or anti-authoritarian person, you know. Mm-hmm. There's other ways to fight for what we think matters and freedoms, right? Like John Lennon was one of these guys, ostracized for saying some of the things he said, you know. What if there were no borders and whatnot, you know, we can live all in peace, and I'm not the only one and all this. And some people, you know, said, no, that doesn't sound right. We need borders, you know. So there's all this kind of like strife going on. But music has always been one of those ways where, you know, we can connect through music and maybe have some common commonality. You heard about it. We talked about this last time, or Veterans Day, right, Janice? Remember that one time we were talking about that? What do they call that Christmas evening or whatever, when all the soldiers on both sides, the First World War, just stopped and they just started singing. Yeah, there was something they were singing across the lines, and they stopped fighting for a day. You know, it was in the trenches during the trench war. Someone in the chat will know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, my brother.
Rock Daddy, you know, in some societies that's perfectly acceptable. You can go find one of them groups.
Did you serve? Did you serve, Les?
I wanted to. So I was 17 when I signed up to the Air National Guard. I wanted to be I wanted to fly F-14s. At that time, that was the thing. Or F-16s. It didn't matter. I just wanted to fly a jet because I thought that would get me up in space.
During my first marriage, I tried to get in the Army. And
yeah. My left eye.
She persuaded me not to, so I didn't.
Yeah.
I have an older brother. My father served, but not overseas. But my father was in the service during the war. But he worked for the medics. The people came back home. He worked.
Yeah, I did influence my brother John. He joined the National Guard here in California and worked with was 6 years and was an MP and a cook with the 970th MP.
I agree with Blackjack, by the way.
Yeah, right. Yeah, absolutely. And we're not always of a sound mind to be able to make that decision. That's part of the reality of it too, though. But yeah. But the bottom line is, John, my brother, did it did help him quite a bit. Having been in the National Guard, and he did serve in Desert Storm. Mm-hmm. He was there as
my son was
control.
My son was in. He was in service. He was in Iraq right after the top. It was like peaceful for about a week, 2 weeks, and he went to a lot of some of the different Arab countries,
the Arab nations.
Yeah, so
the beginnings of civilization, they say. In Mesopotamia, but
I forgot to mention my son served.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Your son served.
My extreme.
In what branch?
He was in the Marines.
Marines.
Yeah, but we don't have.
I know quite a few Marines. I love the Marines.
We do not have a relationship.
Hoorah, the Marines.
Yeah, unfortunately. But.
Yeah. No, it's never easy. I'm glad that I've been, able to keep my relationship with my daughter, considering my ex and how she really put a,
yeah, same thing. Well,
between us,
my ex brainwashed him, and he's got some really bad issues. So
yeah,
I can't do nothing about it. So.
Have you ever tried to influence him through music in some way of therapy?
Oh, he plays guitar.
That's great.
Yeah,
that can help a lot. That probably kept him more normal than not. I bet. When I say normal, I mean like happy, able to cope, kind of.
He's
living life.
You know what a narcissist. There's of course to them there's nothing wrong with him,
right?
But he's just never wrong about anything. So
yeah, well, a lot of times that's a power struggle thing, and it's really based on insecurity because they feel like if they ever gave up any sense of knowing everything, then they'd lose control, and they think they would not be secure. Therefore, yeah.
I have to use the other room.
Okay, so go for it, Jenny.
I'm going to sign off.
All right, sign off, Jenny. We're probably going to sign off soon too.
Okay, thank you.
We'll maybe
guys. I'll talk to you later, Mitch.
Rock
Bye.
on.
So did it help? What we did last night help?
Yes, it did.
Oh yeah, she mentioned that it did. Yeah.
Okay. Very good.
Rock on, Jenny. We'll see you in your show. You got to do a show, Jenny.
Yeah, I got to do one now.
Yeah, do it.
Okay, no, not right now.
Hold on.
I got other things to do right now.
Hold on. Do it. Hold on, that's the wrong one.
Okay.
Do it.
Do it. I got to do it right now. Okay, goodbye.
I've been using EV Mux. It's like StreamYards, right? It has a built-in sound effect.
Oh, I know, but we do this on purpose because it's stupid.
It sounds cheesy. It sounds
exactly.
cheesy.
The whole idea is that you have these cheesy sounds,
I know Johnny Bean was one that was doing the long one.
Because everybody has those ones, but not everyone has these. See, you have to buy one of these and put batteries in it and pollute the earth.
Yeah, you're right.
It's ridiculous. Johnny got me into these because they're just silly. And then I found this.
He was doing it.
I found this at a candy store in San Francisco on the corner of Market and Powell. And I thought it was the funniest thing because it has all these voices like, hello, oh, Mitch, thanks for joining today's show.
That works pretty good.
Yeah, it reminds me of that the Muffin Man in the Shrek movies, you know.
Mm-hmm. I was real quick. I was telling Janice that she was going straight through YouTube, right? Streaming.
She was streaming through. Oh, when she streams
last night, she was going straight.
Oh, okay. I didn't watch it. Yeah.
I told her it's easier. StreamYards is easier than that
because it is. And it's free. You don't have to use. You don't have to do like people on StreamYard, and it has all the additional functions that help. I pay for. You know, I have the yearly subscription.
Yeah, I see. Well, I had it a couple of years ago, but
I still have StreamYard up here. You know, you see it up there, but there's Roxy.
You lost that other thing. But EV Mux, they have a free version because the pricing is similar. But they give you, for the free version, 12 participants.
That's great.
And 80 to begin with. You got to get the
what is that called? Put it in the chat.
EVMUX. EVMUX. EV Mux.
Okay, I'm going to put it up. EVMUX.
And it's got more overlay stuff you can do.
Is it evmux.com or how do you find it?
Yeah, I think so. EVMUX. EV Mux. Here, I can. Let me.
Okay, I'm gonna put it in there.
Let me think exactly. EVMUX.
Well, this way it'll because you might not be able to put up a thing if you're not like a, you know.
It's gonna have a watermark like what StreamYard stuff, but it's
basically OBS. Basically, StreamYard is just a more functional, kind of easy to use OBS.
Yeah, it's similar to StreamYard yet harder. There's things like I want to do like let's say if I want to do a weekly thing, you have to create sessions in EV Mux.
You know what we should do, Mitch? Let's have you on a show and have you because this is like the Music is Therapy show. Let's have you on the show on a gear and demo show talking about how we can use that as you know that's considered gear, right? And demoing. Software. We can have you on that show talking about and helping everyone like how they can set things up. That would be awesome because I'd love to spend like an hour on this subject that you're bringing up. That'd be awesome.
But just, mainly people getting their music to be played without it going underwater. That's what I try to help out.
Right on. No, I know you're like super helper out there.
Well,
awesome. Well, the software wants to update on my phone, but I don't want to. So back to the topic today, but it was cool that you had the story about Elvis. I thought it was going to go deeper.
No, it's just he always talked about it, you know. But
he always talked about it, yeah.
And then when he died, they had he had pictures on.
That's still pretty cool, man. When you knew someone like Elvis, you know, and you can talk about experiences with him in the army when he was with the army in Germany, right? So he hung out with them. Yeah, they hung out.
Well, they were in the same whatever,
the same infantry or whatever it's called. The same.
But he had his pictures, a bunch of people in there. So Ray's here and Elvis is over here. That's all I know. But it's the same picture.
Yeah.
If you want to,
yes, Peggy. Go ahead.
Have you ever had Charles Green on? Because he's got some cool music.
I would love to have him on, but I don't usually do like I know there's a lot of other channels like Charles 75N and other like Ben does a lot of that kind of stuff, and I don't do the community. Let's bring the community member in and talk about everything they know kind of stories thing. That's something that I let other people do because I think you know I've already got other ideas of what I want to do, and I've always been kind of concentrating on the guitar mods, and now I'm going to be building these pedals. And I had Amanda, you know, she painted my pedal enclosures. I got to build those pedals. I'm doing CC's 7170. Did I just say 7170? 5150.
Yeah.
I think I have the 71 age in my mind now. But 5150 guitar inspired by guitar build for him that I'm doing as an amateur, you know, modder and builder. And inspired by Phil McKnight and of course, you know, people like Henning and Johnny and others, you know, there's so many shows that I appreciate that I like, but I don't usually do those kinds of shows because I think there's already enough of that out there.
Yeah.
Though I think it would be interesting. I just, you know, try to do something different. Yeah. And it's maybe not as popular because I'm not growing as good as some of those channels, but it's not about, you know, my channel growing as much though. I'm shooting for the 1,000 still. I did, you know, vie to give away a guitar, and I am going to do that once we get to that 1,000 number. I'm gonna give away a guitar. What guitar yet? I don't know, because it might even be something I'd leave up to the winner to choose. You know, we might even do something and modify it and then give it to him, because we've got people like Ron, you know, and Kaluger, Gunnerman, that's our Gunner, Ron Gunner, as we know him in the chats. He's you know, a retired customs automotive painter. I had a friend of mine whose dad was an automotive painter, and I've always been an amateur model builder as a kid, and you know, pretty artistic myself, and an expert finisher with wood. I've done a lot of woodwork, finish work at my uncle's door company, working with him for decades, and then furniture and other kind of refurbishing and refinish work that I've done. So I know woodwork and woods and finishes and stuff. So I just did something like that all day yesterday. I was working on a kitchen that I was refurbishing. So that's how I make a buck and pay for these things. Yeah. You know, and then I've got the channel here, which is really cool, because I've got, you know, like Anonymous. We all know who Anonymous is, right? I don't have to say. But Anonymous had me go pick up this amp and head for him in a shop called Bananas Music in San Rafael. And I picked up a few things for him in the past too, just to do him a favor. He's like, hey, can you help me out with this? Because I can't buy this. They will only allow it to be a pickup, you know, by local person. And so anything he finds that's local, I pick it up for him. I'm like, well, tell me when you want me to ship it or bring it to you in Oregon. You know, I'll drive it up there and visit with you for a weekend or something. It'd be fun. And so he had me pick this thing up for him. And he tells me it's mine, but I don't believe him. So that's ridiculous. This is a remake by Marshall. In 2002, they made 300 of these hand-wired amp heads and amps cabinets. The original prototype JTM 45 that Terry and Jim Marshall built. I mean, here's the thing on it. You know. So certified number 90 of 300. You know. Oops.
Good deal.
Skype is wanting to start up on me. Goodbye, Skype. But that's just the kind of thing that, you know, that I've been really blessed by, you know, all these awesome people that have been drawn to my channel for some reason. And I'm blown away that I've got 800 something. I see some other people who've been doing YouTube longer than me, and they can't get past a couple few hundred. And then there's other people that are leaps and bounds getting past, you know, by some different way of doing things, you know.
There's some other people I'm good friends with, and
Michael B.
He should have more, you know, subscribers than he does, and he's really good than other people. You know.
Yeah, it's a weird thing how YouTube works and how it grows. You know, Dane was telling me the other day when I was talking to him, I'm trying to set up something between Rock Daddy and Hobarodi, so you can get some things from Arizona. And Rock Daddy's probably got the time and the ability to help him out with some stuff. And he'll make it worth his while, as he always does, you know. But the bottom line is, Dane was telling me about how, what was I getting at? Let's see, I get off tangents.
Me too.
I forget what I was bringing up. But Dane was talking about something. Let me see. Oh yeah, he was talking about, he had that one breakout viral video of him going to a storage, you know, auction, buying a storage locker full of gear, and that thing went viral on him. Got like tens of thousands, if not 100,000 views or something. And then since then, his channel just went poof up into the 20,000s now. So you know, before he had a small channel, and then boom, it just blew up from that. And he does a really good, you know, he doesn't do lives as much unless he's on one of our shows. He mostly does videos, and I think videos rather than lives does better.
I totally agree.
I don't do videos as much. I used to do more, and I should keep doing that, and especially doing more musical stuff, because people keep asking me to do that and want me to do that. Hey, Marshall's here too. What's up, Setup? I'm Marshall. Marshall is an awesome.
Yeah, well, check out his video he did the other night.
Yeah. Oh man,
Texas Jackdaw.
Yeah, that guy's amazing. Yeah, those guys are really talented, and it's great to see them collabing. I mean, that's something that I kept saying I'd do, but I never got around to doing, and maybe I will.
He does know. He knows.
I'm doing more local stuff
I'll
now.
tell you,
Though,
some of
with
the
my
stuff I
sister's
do, I learned
band
from Marshall.
Yeah. Oh, I bet.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you possibly made that amp, dude. That's awesome. Oh, okay. Setup saying that there's a problem with ASIO4. All is terrible latency. It's really bad. Zero
Yeah,
control. Yeah. See,
I
this
never
is how
had
you can
much.
learn a lot about this kind of stuff, and that can benefit us from having to go through the same bad experiences. Wasting time. Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's not about subs. Nothing happens after 100,000 or 1,000.
Yeah,
It's
I
not
don't
until
want
you
to
hit
monetize.
100,000.
I don't monetize. I
Yeah.
don't want to monetize.
Honestly, I'm thinking that I think monetization helps when it comes to if you want to create a channel, like let's say like that pedal show or any of these other channels that are monetized. It allows you to do the super chat thing. It funds the company, YouTube and Google, that actually created this and lets us do this. So I don't have a real problem with that. The
Yeah, I don't
percentages
have.
that
If you want to monetize,
they take some percentage of that, fine. I just don't know about if I want to have ads going on during my videos or shows. So
right.
that's the one reason why. But at the same time, I also think it would be really cool if I can create this as a C3 business. So in other words, a nonprofit. That's what I'm trying to work my way towards, like with this particular show, is I want this to be about helping other people, and that's what the Music is Therapy show. And that's why I called myself Music Therapy Labs. And I went back to school 11 years ago. I, graduated with two-year degrees, AA degrees, one in social science and one in transferable in California to a California university or college or whatever.
What do you do now for a living?
What I've always made money at, which is fixing things. I'm a maker and creator and fixer of things. So I have like innovative ideas and inventions of all kinds that I've tried to make money on. I even have a game idea that I've even talked to some of my gamers.
So you're busy enough to keep to.
God, dude, I'm like Steve Vai, who has like 1,000 projects and is working on 500 at a time, and they're all getting done at some point along the way.
So you're making a living at it.
I'm making enough. Good. I've been really slow lately, though. I think there was a lot of fear for a while in the economies going bad and blah, 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 blah. And things really slowed down. They always slow down around tax time in my industry anyway. Yeah. But I do a lot of home remodeling type of work,
Okay.
And I've been doing it really since I was a teenager, because my first real job was painting apartment units with a property management company that my mom worked with as a realtor. And she got me a job.
If you lived near me, I would put you to work.
Dude, I still find enough things to do, believe it or not. I still don't even find enough time to send packages to people that I owe, like Ryan over here. I'm terrible about some things. I had a chat with my wife about this morning, because I must have ADHD or something like that. I must have been one of those kids, because I always have a lot of things going on and I'm distracted easily, but I'm also constantly busy with stuff. And the only time I relax is when I'm with her, relaxing, watching a TV show, or I'm out playing music with some friends or playing music myself, which I don't get enough time for or put enough time to. But I need to actually take charge, right? Like we're talking about the brain and we're getting into that whole thing. That's the thing, is that a conscious thinking, brain person is somebody who is actually, purposefully thinking through what he's doing throughout the day. And there's a side of me that is probably dead wrong, that really pushes back against that and says, no, to be free, lads, you got to just be a free, willing, flying in the wind, be blown by the wind wherever it takes you kind of guy. And that I don't think is true. I'm becoming more and more like the Taoist way of, just float with the river, the stream of life kind of thing. I've used a lot of that kind of philosophy and stuff to perhaps be an excuse for not doing the things that I should do to take myself in the direction I want to go to get to where I want to be, right? And I've always found that I didn't have, like, I always say that life is like this this adventure where there's all these things you can go through and go find and do things in, and you could be like a feral human going through it, bumping into things and walking for miles and finding yourself at an edge of a cliff and looking down and going, okay, how do I get down there? I'm going to have to go all the way around this way now. I'm finding I've not had as many. I haven't had a guide in life. You know, I've always found my own way, and I find that nowadays I try to help other young people. You know, what is this wanting to say? Not now. Okay, there's all these things popping up on my screen. And I do try to mentor some friends and other family members and anyone I get in touch with through, you know, the activism I'm involved in. Because I think, you know, if I can influence a young mind, you know, before they get set in their ways, I try to help them, you know, steer their own lives and go after their dreams and make them happen. And a big part of making that happen is believing it's possible in the first place. Because when I was younger, some of the things I wanted to do, I didn't believe were possible. Like, let's say I tried to join the military, but I couldn't. And so instead, I let that get me down. And that was the worst year of my life, was my senior year of high school. Nothing was going in the direction that I wanted it to, or I thought it would go. And I basically escaped from living with my mom in Colorado, came back to California here, lived with my dad for a little while, but then he couldn't let me keep staying with him very long. So I ended up living with my grandparents. And I finished my last half semester a semester of high school here in California. The only one in my family out of four that got an actual college degree by participating all the way through rather than getting a GED. And then I'm the only one outside of my mom in my family that has a degree. I actually have 3 degrees, but they're 2-year AA degrees because I never was able to get beyond to the next step, partially because of the financial requirements and whatnot. Just I never could do it, or I didn't know I could, you know, and believed that I could because I didn't know. I didn't have that guide, you know. And so if you're going through the forest of life, let's say, and you have a good guide that tells you, hey, you want to get to this beautiful little clearing with this beautiful little lake up there, up top of the mountains with beautiful scenery and blah, 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 blah. This is the way to go. You know, you'll get there quicker and you'll have a much easier life at it, you know. And so I've tried to be that kind of a guide to some youth, you know, that are around me. And I know I've influenced a lot of people positively in my engagement with them. You know, whether it was back at the college as a Senate member in a psychology club. I wasn't one who started that. It was started by another guy named Bill the year before me, but we took it to another level when I was running that. And it really did some amazing things. There are actually some institutions that I kind of got going that are still happening and have spread virally around other community colleges, like this, what I called No Stress Zone for Finals that I created and had other students help me create this thing called No Stress Zone for Finals Week. And it's like this zone where they hand out stuff that you might need last minute or relax or, you know, look it up. It's probably out there somehow. It probably doesn't even mention my name, but that's fine. But I know I was the one who did that. And me and this one gal, she helped me make that happen. So bottom line is that you can make a difference in people's lives. And I try to do that through this show. On a day like today, which is Memorial Day, don't just remember those who have passed. Remember that they have family and friends that are still alive and can use your support. Donate to those institutions, those organizations that are in my description if you can. If you want to donate directly to me, I will tally up and everything, not just for this show, but from now through the end of June, anything that anyone donates to me, to this channel, is going to go directly to one of those. And I'm going to start it with that Frank Terzo $10 donation that he gave me yesterday. I'm going to start it with that. So I've already donated to, I think it was the Wounded Warrior Project, but I'll also donate to Guitars for Vets. And if you want me to donate to one of those specific ones, send it to me. And it'd be cool to see how this community works towards this. If you want to do it on your own, by all means, do it. You don't have to do it, you know, with my channel or trust me or whatever. But if you want to see how powerful, you know, we can be as a group, that would be kind of cool to see like what kind of a difference we made as a group, you know. And I guess one of the influences, one of the ones who is getting inspired, I'm inspired, and I aspire to, you know, have this as a goal. was this guy Gary Sinise, who's an actor who has service members in his family, and he was Lieutenant Dan in Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump.
Yeah, and he has a band called the Lieutenant Dan Band, and they go around and they perform at military events and stuff like that, USO and other kind of support roles. Great and I look back on my life and I wonder, why didn't I ever do that? Why don't I go perform for military people or help them? I moved to Livermore so I could be close to the Veterans Hospital here so I can get involved in music therapy. And I'm like, why am I not doing it? It's so weird how we get caught up in our lives and we start getting distracted from some of our goals. So like what I was saying, Peggy, don't worry about it, man. I know where you're at financially, and don't even worry. And by the way, never donate to me or anybody if you don't have the money. If you're not in a place where, like, I can sell guitars and have plenty of money, so I don't have to worry about money in that sense. I still do, and I don't have a lot of savings. So the bottom line is that I'm still pretty capable physically. Thankfully, my neck issue and things like that have been pretty resolved.
So I'm on Social Security, so it is. Yeah. I have to be careful.
You
have to be careful. But,
but you have musical talents and like your computer skills and other talents that you're sharing with others, and
Oh, can I clear up something?
Yeah,
I worked on computers just on the side. It wasn't my job in my full time.
Oh, I thought you were.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, they asked me to do stuff because I did take a course. I got a certificate, but I just did
a couple of those.
I just got it's
web
an
design,
A plus certificate.
Yeah,
but I got that 2001. But
and
just fixing. It was like people I work with.
Yeah.
Fixing their PCs. I mean, everybody at work there probably fixed one time or another. And the thing is, I'm retired now. I don't hear from anybody unless they have a computer problem. It's the only time they don't call up to say, hi, how are you? But if something's broken, they call me. I get a little upset about that.
Well, maybe I can turn that frown upside down for you, Mitch. You're a valuable asset to them. So they're turning to you at a time. And then when they get your help, reach out to them and turn it into a social thing and say, hey.
Well, why can't you call me up another time just to say how you are?
Yeah, people are, what? People are busy.
Yeah, you're right.
And it's not like they don't want to. But if you complain like this about it, they're not going to want to hang out with you.
I don't. Well, they don't. They don't. They don't watch this stuff. They don't
I'm just saying.
Yeah, they don't watch stuff.
Don't be that grumpy guy that is helpful once in a while.
But my boss called me up. My boss called me up. We went out to lunch yesterday. My wife and his wife. Yeah. We haven't been together in a year. But he does. He's the one that does. He don't call me up for problems. He calls me up. Let's go out to eat.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, but at least you're able to, you're somebody that people know that they can rely on. That's got to feel good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Peggy, wow, they found him after 3 months. That's yeah. Sean Hockey, dude, what's up, dude? Yeah. Yeah, I'm on your phone book, huh? Yeah, you can call me anytime. As a matter of fact, most people know that through my Instagram or my Facebook, you can messenger me. I'm pretty open. I'm a pretty trusting person. I might be naive, but I'm not stupid either. So don't think I'm stupid.
I am naive. I am stupid, really.
In the sense that if you think you're going to get one over on me, you're going to be sorry that you did if you do, because it's been done to me before, and I'm pretty careful about that. And I do try to protect others because I'm one of those kind of guys. Why do you think I wanted to join the military? Because I wanted to protect people. That's in me. I have a little bit of that. What my mom told me about this book someone wrote about. She's like, "Oh, I read this book, and you're just like this." And I'm like, "What?" Well, the White Knight syndrome. I'm like, "Yep," because I grew up with these heroes like James Bond and David Carradine on Kung Fu and Bruce Lee and all these male characters that were these strong men who saved the day. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be that guy.
James Bond got me into playing the guitar.
Not realistic though, but it's maybe not a bad not an entirely bad.
That James Bond thing did it for me when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what got me.
Well, dude, guess what was the first record on a little vinyl record? I think it was the first record that I asked my mom to get me, that I said, can where's this music? Can I get this music? And she'd always tell me, go to the library, because we didn't have money growing up, that much. Yeah. And I'd go to the library to listen to music and stuff. But it was from that movie, Man with the Golden Gun. Mm. Oh, wait a minute.
No, that was
it
Roger
Man
Moore.
with the Golden Gun? Or was it? Which one was it where it was a Man with the Golden Gun, wasn't it? No, it was Live and Let Die.
That Sean Connery. That was in,
Live and Let.
That took place in Vegas, right? What did Live and Let Die?
No, wait a minute. Okay, I got.
Or was that Diamonds Are Forever?
I'm getting old
mixed
now.
Up. Well, yeah, tell me about it.
Okay, James Bond, Live and Let Die. Yeah, that was Roger Moore too. Okay. Yeah. So I grew up with I remember You Only Live Twice was one of my favorite all-time.
Me too. Me
Bond
too.
movies.
I'm right there with you.
I love that one. You Only Live Twice, Mr. Bond.
Remember how it started off? Did it start off like he died, right?
Yeah, like
that was great.
They made it like he's dead, and then they think he's dead, so he's able to infiltrate the organization in that Japanese island.
Oh, I love
pretty fascinating. Yeah, but so the song, of course, by McCartney and Wings, right?
Yeah.
Live and Let Die, and how it was rock and roll, but it was orchestra and everything and all that together.
Great
song.
And
I'm like, man, I'm all about that music. I was like, I got to have this music. So I remember asking my mom for the music, and she couldn't find that yet because I don't think it was out. But she got me like another 45 of some McCartney and Wings thing. And then I became a huge Beatles fan from that point on. It was nothing but the Beatles. And of course, their nemesis of America, the Beach Boys.
I saw the Beach Boys.
Dude, I saw them recently.
Did you really?
The Remain member and his son and others. It was pretty great though. Still,
I saw them in the 70s. You know who opened up for the Beach Boys?
Yeah.
Chicago. This was in the mid 70s, I think, in Largo, Maryland, the Capitol Center.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I've been good, Sean. Thanks for asking, dude. I mean, like I was saying before, I'm complaining a little bit. I've been a little bit working harder for less money because I haven't had some of the creamy, good money jobs recently. But I'm always working. That's the thing. And when you work for yourself like I do, you're scrambling. Sometimes when you're working for yourself, you don't make enough money on the same dollar, the same hour. You make less dollars. It can be tough. Especially when you've got gas.
I'd be a nervous wreck. If
I ordered a Kiesel guitar, and I'm like, shit, I got to pay that balance and go pick it up. Because I went to the Kiesel event when we were at NAMM, and I was hanging with, I wasn't hanging a lot with Phil McKnight, but we were chatting and listening to his part of when he did his talk or conference or whatever, talking about YouTube and playing music and Kiesels. And then we did the factory tour, and I'm like, okay, I got to get a Kiesel. I ordered one special build.
Have you ever played a sir?
Oh yeah. I played. There's a shop over here. I played several because I played them at NAMM. I've played them in other places too. But
are they really? There. You can really feel a difference when you play them.
Well, I mean, at my level, I know a good guitar. Don't get me wrong. I understand.
I think I would know. Yeah, if a good
feeling. There's dead giveaways of what makes a guitar really good guitar. Number one, you're not having to tune it more than the first time if it was out of tune in the first place. Mm-hmm. All right. And guitars like that never go out of tune unless someone detuned it to drop D or something else. So right on, Michael B. Yeah, we'll talk about your show. We're going to do another show with you, dude.
See you, Mike.
It's going to be awesome. Right on. Yeah, but the bottom line is that I do know a good guitar when I pick one up and play one and listen to it and feel its resonance in the body and all that. So like, this Valiant guitar right here, amazing.
I've never played. Oh, really?
That's the Henning spec one. So let me pull it down just for you.
I've never played a custom guitar that I know of. I have a Les Paul Standard, but it's still.
This is basically a custom build by Henning specs. So I'll solo me because it's worth it. Anyone out there doesn't know about Valiant guitars, they're made by the Valiant company, and they're building guitars during war.
Beautiful.
And this one's called the Smith, and everything about this is real wood. So that's a real maple top there at that flame, right? They have a lot of proprietary parts like that nut there that has bell brass
Oh my
Both
gosh!
has separately adjustable nut blocks, if you want to call them, or
Really?
screws. Look at that. Flame maple capped neck over a 5-piece wenge and maple neck. Look at that.
Wow.
That's just oiled. It just feels like, oh my God. And then ebony, inlays there of the Valiant Guitar logo and their Valiant Guitar inlays. And notice this spoke wheel adjustment, how it's done.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. Into the 22nd fret, I believe 22nd, right? Let me count. I can't remember. It's 22 or 24. 22nd.
Very good.
20 frets. And then those are bare knuckle pickups in there with their proprietary. It's a very interesting space aged Aerotech metal that they use in the rings there, called Duralumin. It's aluminum. And then bell brass for the blocks, or whatever you want to call the part of the bridge there, and duraluminum or duralumin for the rest of the parts there. It's mahogany, of course, 2-piece mahogany body, and it's a set neck. And look at that cap. I'll take that. It's in the middle there. Nice little beautiful gloss, and I love that color. That's the color that Henning really wanted originally with his guitar that you see. I got one of the 42 right there.
Okay.
And it's just amazing sounding and playing guitar.
Beautiful.
Just amazing.
You got some nice equipment. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been lucky. I've been, slowly collecting it over the last 12 years or so. I got back into guitar.
I have no amps. The only thing I have is a THR 10X practice amp.
Yeah.
Because
hey, dude, that's all you need, man. Really.
I mean, I use the Dissolve software and everything, but it's because I live in a small place,
right?
And I disturb my wife. So
the bottom line is, if I didn't do this show, I wouldn't have all this stuff. I do this. Yeah. I have all this stuff because of the show, and to be honest, that's how I started collecting stuff, because I wanted to show things, and then I just started getting stuff. And I got lucky, this guitar right here. I bought the strap at a Guitar Center, and it's a Joe Satriani strap, and I just put it out to the universe. The secret, you manifest things into being. So what I did was I said, well, it would be great if I could find a Satriani guitar at a reasonable price to go with the strap that I just bought at half off for $15, right? And lo and behold, I find a used one at a Guitar Center for $5.99. That is an original 1990 first year model Signature Series JS 1. Just totally mispriced at $5.99.
You got some money between your amps and guitars. You got some money invested.
Yeah, I do. I have some money invested. But I get lucky. This little red one right here, Fernando, the most interesting guitar in the world. You've heard about that, right?
I think so.
Oh, I just realized that my camera got disconnected.
Oh, no, I see you. Now I lost your audio.
Yeah, because I just disconnected.
Oh, you're back.
Everything's incorrect. See, this should be moving like this. When I move this, everything should be moving. So there's something wrong with I think my USB dongle here. There's something not working with it.
Your video's fine.
Yeah, it's kind of working, but it's not the correct one. And my audio is probably not even correct. Let's see.
No, it sounds the same.
Yeah, see, it's not.
Sounds good to me.
It's been off of this. It should be using this. Does it sound different now?
It does. It does sound not as good now.
Snowball. Now it sounds better.
Snowball.
Yeah, before.
That's the only thing I never had. I never bought a snowball, and I picked one up 80,000 times. I never bought one.
It works okay. It's not.
Yeah,
it's fine. And if I went into the software on how it works, it'd be even better.
Yeah.
But we're going off a tangent here, but we still have 23 people watching, and I've gone 2 hours, which is
all right. Well, I'll let you go. I'm gonna get out of here.
Let's have you on a Thursday if you're available on a Thursday night, 10 o'clock at night. Are you available? Or is that too late?
I'm retired. I'm there.
You can do anything you want.
I don't go anywhere. Yeah, I mean, well, mostly.
All right, we'll talk. We'll talk after we end the show.
about if you want to come on and do a little like how to hook up stuff. Hey, Lars Guitars, what's up, dude?
Hey, Larry. Long time no see.
Right on, man.
Well, thank you for having me on. I appreciate
it. Yeah, well, I'm glad you popped in. And I think if we can end the show on the Memorial Day thing, there will be the Memorial Day celebration concert tonight. Like I mentioned, you can watch it live on YouTube or elsewhere. I think it's being put on by PBS, but I'm sure other organizations will be showing it as well. Help out if you can. One of your veterans or other military organizations, they could really use your help at this time. I have description links in the description to some of those organizations with a little background on some of them. And then I have these lists in the description too, where I have like all these musicians that were at one point or another either supporters of our military or lost members, and people that are still, in some way in service to or armed forces through like the Guitars for Vets organization or any of these. If you want to get involved with some of your musical skill, see if there's somewhere local where you can help teach, a veteran guitar or something. I'm sure that's probably one of the things they struggle the most with, is getting enough people to help out, So until next time, you guys, I hope you enjoyed the show. See what the chat's saying here. What's going on in the show still here? I think we've got all the info out there. Yeah, if you want to, like I mentioned, for the rest of this month and till the end of June, if you guys want to donate to the show, to my show, I'm going to take that donation and directly give it to one of these organizations. So, and I will keep that list and transparently show you how much money we raised and we're able to give to these organizations. And as a community, we can see how powerful we are. But let me go ahead and put that up here for you guys real quick. If you guys want to just take it off the YouTube or whatever chat screen here. I got to go back to here and post it here. Here it is. Yeah, and then next show is next Thursday, but see you guys in the chats, right? You can just click that link and directly PayPal me and tell me which organization you want me to put your money at. I'd be curious which ones you guys want to go with the most, Guitars for Vets or, the Wounded Warrior Project. And then there's, let's see, what was the other one? The other one's a little more complicated. I can't remember exactly. I have to look at my description here to pull that one up. And I think I should share that link too. So let me share that link. And you can reach me by Instagram or on my Facebook page. And what's this organization called? Yeah, there's a couple of them. So there's the Special Forces Foundation. That's another one you can, and there's other like local things. Like if you live in Colorado, they actually have an event where you can go and run for you join them like a MS walk or like any of these like run or jog or kind of like these marathon kind of things. There's one in Colorado. I forget what it's called, but I think it's maybe like, I forget what it's called. I don't want to make it up. And then there's this other one called Hope for Warriors, which is really great. I really like this one just because they're servicing people that are still in the military at this time and could use support, because it's not easy moving around from base to base and all this kind of stuff, right? It's kind of a lot of words here, but yeah, there's a lot of info here on this one. So the Advisory Council of Hope for the Warriors, a national nonprofit dedicated to providing a full cycle of non-medical care to combat wounded service members and their families and members of fallen from each branch of the military. Yeah. So that one's cool. Oh, is that a Wikipedia link? So maybe I put the wrong link there. It's a Wikipedia link. Let me click that link and see where it takes me. Oh, there's all kinds of info here. Hope for the Warriors. Anyway, yeah, there might be. You might have to dig through that one a little bit. Let me click this thing. Maybe this is that's just a picture. I thought I had an actual link to that organization. Anyway, you can read about it, learn about it like I did. And everybody, Dan of New Jersey, thanks for joining. And anyone else? Anyone else that I might not have recognized in the chat here or said your name? Thanks for coming. And see you guys on the other shows out there tonight. I think Johnny Bean does his ASMR show. I think Pete Thorne, another favorite YouTuber dude of mine, met that guy at NAMM in 2019. Super cool guy. Super cool. A lot of cool people out there. And I was really enjoying the Punish Dave episode Friday with Mark and Dave on the what do they call that show? I forget. The Dave and Mark show, the Friedman show. You know, the Friedman hour, or 2 or 3 or 4 hours, depending on what guest they have on and how much tequila or whiskey they've been drinking. Thanks very much, Sean. Thank you all for coming. I'm going to use my cheesy sounding. Thank you all for coming on. And yeah, rock on. Don't forget, I used to end it all the time this way, that the secret to tone, if you're not a musical person, which I think everyone here is, tone is a kind of interesting thing. It's a ubiquitous thing. We're surrounded by it. Frequency of the world. Tone is constantly coming through us all the time. They recently had, I think it's going to be in June, the first week of June, we're going to have an alignment of some of the planets. You know, that's going to be an interesting thing. We're going to be in vibrational tone with the other some of these other planets. Everything's vibrating. We're all, you know, strings vibrating in the quantum fields right out there in the universe. So frequency and all this tone stuff matters. So I like to say, when it comes to music, tone is in the mind, but the feel comes from our heart, right? Put those things together, the concrete, the mind, the thinking side of us with the feely subjective side of us. Bring those things together, help it unite in music with all of us together, with each other, with our friends, and rock on. Exactly, Lars. Rock on.
Thanks, Lars. Thanks for having me.
Right on, man. Dale Palmer, always at the end. See you guys at the next show. You guys all rock.
Bye, guys.
Mitch, and then stay here for a minute. Let's talk about getting together. All right.